subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356. You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Our lives only have so much time, but if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter, and the time you do have is often filled with health problems. Shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, your body starts healing.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, come 6 o'clock. If you guys want to join in, use the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, Channel 961. We got the host, as always, the former Husker wide receiver, DeMornay Pierson-El. How's it going on this Thursday night?
It's going good. Just catching up on some of these preseason games.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we even get to some of those preseason games, were you able to catch Serbia in USA basketball today?
Come on with your hate. Come on, because I know you got something to say. So what's up?
It was close. That's all I'm saying. The rest of the world is catching up here.
It's still a win.
It is, and this is a good one because it's just only going to get harder from here. Now, to be fair, I was saying still pick USA for the gold, but this is getting about what I thought. I was never saying pick Serbia, even Canada, which Canada, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of been the biggest surprise for me is seeing Canada fall to France. But were you surprised at all? The final score, obviously behind great performances with Steph Curry, LeBron James, he puts together another really good triple-double. I think Jason Tatum was the only one out there with 0 minutes, but someone's going to have to sit. Surprised at all to kind of see this game shake out the way it did?
No, not necessarily really. But I mean, they handle business. Was it close? Yeah. I still wouldn't say, they've played probably their best basketball and they're still, regardless of the situation, coming out on top. So, I mean, the next team, that's going to be Twin Towers in there. They're going to be something to handle. I think Wemby had a crazy stat line. So they just got to bring them a better A game. But I mean, it is what it is. It's Serbia. They're playing Joker in them. You knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah, and Bogdanovic gets overlooked a little bit too on that Serbia team. I mean, he was doing a lot of the damage. Jokic was obviously still have his great moments, but Bogdanovic, especially Team USA today, played pretty well. Just for anybody who missed it, obviously being a Thursday, probably happened while most people are at work. Here's the box score. Again, talked about LeBron James having another just great all-around performance. He was 6 of 9, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. 12 rebounds, 10 assists, a steal to go along with it. Only two turnovers and 16 points. So 12, 12, 16, triple-double. Joel Embiid actually played really well today. It might have been surprising, but Anthony Davis didn't play bad, but clearly more Joel Embiid's game. He goes 8 for 11, 2 from 3 from the three-point line. And then, of course, we got to talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry, a little bit nuclear. 12 for 19, 9 for 14 from the three-point line. He drops 36 points. I think that might be the biggest point total we've had from any individual player this far. What do you think it was for Steph Curry that things finally just start clicking for him? I think we're all kind of waiting for that night where he'd look like Golden State Warriors Steph Curry. but took a little bit, took all the way to the semifinals. But he erupts in a much needed time because they probably don't win that game without him.
I mean, it was just his time to to take the mantle. So can he do it? Yes. Is he gonna do it every time? No. You got superstars, and faces of the NBA on one team. So at some point in time, the ball has to get around. It's going to be shared. Not everybody can go off to what we're used to or seeing, how they play on their respectable teams. So, I mean, I guess it was just his turn to go off that time, and that's what we seen.
Any fear about France? Or do you think this is USA, that it's only easier from here on out? Now, obviously, I don't want to say any of these games are going to be easier, but was Serbia kind of the last big test we're going to have? Not to say that we're going to walk over France, but you feel better about them than Canada.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
What the heck? I wouldn't say a cakewalk. There are two different type of styles of teams. I mean, you got 2 7-footers in the middle. Wemby's confidence, is only getting better. So, I mean, is it a different challenge? Yes. Do I expect them to have some type of difficulty to a certain extent? But again, you have multiple NBA stars on the team. Like they only have one, Wemby, and I mean, they got 2 dominant defensive forces for sure. But I mean, they can't be everywhere. So it'll probably take, a half or a quarter and a half to figure out exactly, the plan of attack. And, I mean, they'll just speed up the tempo and whatnot and assert their dominance, and that's what we'll see.
If you're France, do you play Gobert in this one? They kind of pulled I mean, they really caught Canada off guard. Gobert only gets 3 minutes in that entire game. Obviously, was starting with Victor Wembanyama. Like you said, they had the Twin Towers lineup. And in that game against Canada, to kind of take advantage of some of the mismatches, Gobert only plays 3 minutes, which is just kind of crazy. I mean, to put that in like the U.S., they'd be taking one of our best guys, our second best guy, maybe even Kevin Durant, benching him for the entire game for the sake of a matchup. Are you expecting anything weird with France when they come play USA? Do you think Gobert kind of gets installed back into the lineup to deal with maybe a Bam AD combination, Joel Embiid, whoever we throw out there?
You have the reigning defensive MVP, on your team. So with him going against and doing that in the NBA against stars regularly on a normal night, I would think he would be in there to kind of give Team USA a bit more problems. That just might have been one of the situations of what it was, and you kind of, or he might have been hurt with something, and they're not saying stuff or something. But I mean, you want to have your best defensive front, especially going against Team USA. So I mean, I would expect him to play a lot more than he did the last time.
Yeah, I think so. For the fact that this is a style where Gobert is going to fit really well going against Team USA style basketball, where he's going to be kind of used to those guys, even like what they like to do out there. He's just used to their style in the NBA. So I'd expect Gobert to be back there. It feels like Serbia was kind of the biggest roadblock left. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be Canada was who we were going to be facing there, because Canada cleaned house in the group phase. I mean, they didn't lose a single game. They beat France pretty handily too, forced them into just a bunch of sloppy turnovers. And then that second game is just completely different. France catches fire. So unless they got, another wrinkle up their sleeve, which give France credit, they certainly did with Canada, feels like this is going to be a solid opportunity for the USA to bring back the gold medal. Now, I'll ask you this, and we'll get off basketball here, but I got to ask you one more thing. How many more Olympics do you think the USA kind of holds over in that dominant figure of basketball, to where, they're consistently going to be the favorite? It feels like we're only a few Olympics away before some of these other countries on an off chance might be the favorite. Now, USA still thinks it's going to be consistently the favorited, but I think there may be Olympics not too far out where we might be second in the power rankings.
The next Olympics, LeBron might not be there, Steph might not be there. From what we've seen, their Olympic run, might be over. So you have some of the newer age dominant NBA stars coming into, and they have 4 years to kind of prove themselves to kind of take over what we've kind of been accustomed to. So we'll see, depending on what's to come with the next one, but that's probably going to be the next one, because I think you will see some of the more common faces that we've seen the last 3 Olympics probably not be there. Kevin Durant might not be there. Steph might not be there. LeBron might not be there. And if those people, have stepped away from the game necessarily, okay, well, who are the faces of the NBA to kind of take over or step up? How will those guys develop to kind of, put the fear or put, the world on notice of things? So we might could see that, at the next Olympics, honestly.
Yeah, because Devin Booker played great. Tatum, we just haven't really seen a lot when he is out there. Hasn't been spectacular. Anthony Edwards looks all right. I think you feel pretty good with Anthony Edwards. But like currently, if Jokic was American, that's a no-brainer, next face of the league. But over there being in Serbia, out of the young guys, you think Devin Booker so far has probably benefited the most? I mean, he and KD feels like they might have found something where when Phoenix rolls it back for this 2024 season, it does give me a little more hope. I mean, Devin Booker's playing really well, but again, he's kind of playing that shooting guard, which kind of goes back to the Suns' whole problem is they need that true point, that true playmaker.
I mean, it's another experience with things and whatnot. Hopefully, the coach will kind of take some notes down and kind of implement some things and find, a true point guard. Everybody's trying to play that, positionless basketball, and that doesn't work for everybody. So hopefully, they're trying to switch things up and get things going for them.
Yep. And like I said, that's USA moves on. They will face France in the finals, which probably was not anticipated by most, but the country hosting will also get to be in the finals for basketball, as Canada in the upset falls to them. So we'll put a pause on basketball there. I want to go a little more Olympics, though, in particular track, and I just want to get your thoughts on this. Out of all the sports out there, there's certainly some where other countries are catching up, but every single time track and field rolls around, the USA is dominant at just an entirely another level. Obviously, Noah Lyles, he wins gold, doesn't quite get in the 200, but the 100, you look at the hurdles. I mean, Grant Holloway, I'm not sure if he ran yet today, but he's going to be in that finals as well. What is it about track and field where USA has such an immense edge on track and field, and that one feels like it hasn't waned at all? I mean, you can go back to Jesse Owens. Like, it just feels like ever since then, we've just been dominant.
I mean, between us and Jamaica's you can put Jamaica up there too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's more, I mean, all across the board, and just about, all of the events. It's not, just the 100, 200 hurdles, the 1500. So for whatever it is, they got the science right on things. They got the right athletes. I think they've gotten a lot better with allowing, the collegiate athletes to partake, to where not only you just kind of got to wait till after college to get that going on. I feel like the past couple of years, they had a good group of females and a good group of males that kind of was carrying a torch, and I think those athletes definitely inspired today's generation of athletes of what they can be and whatnot. They started doing things early. They found, training regiments and whatnot to kind of get things going on. That with talent, genetic makeup, it just makes for a perfect storm. And I mean, as you continue to do things and whatnot, I mean, you got a whole, nation that where it doesn't matter. You can be a small town guy or girl, and as long as you go to the right places, right coaching and whatnot, put your best foot forward, whether that's Oregon, USC, Kentucky, Florida, it doesn't matter. They're breeding, Olympians day and night. So I don't know exactly what it is, but hopefully, we continue to have that for the next Olympics to come.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to know what it is. I think you're right. It definitely seems like collegiately, we despite it not being the most popular sport, it is something that just about all the major colleges are going to have. They're going to have pretty solid track and field programs. So maybe we are just more focused on in terms of development. But I mean, you watch some of those guys like Grant Holloway always sticks out to me in the hurdles because like his first 60 meters, like he's just so far away from everybody right off the bat. And it's just insane to watch. And it's actually kind of later on because he jumps too damn high, quite honestly. So he has to like really train himself to stay lower to the hurdles because he elevates. And, you know, of course, hurdles, that little bit of air time, people will catch up to you. But of course, yeah, when we get to track and field, if you're ever sweating about that medal count, you got to wait till track and field because that's been pretty historically when the USA starts covering a ton of ground.
And even with, I think, what is it, Sha'Carri? I think she got silver. Yep. The little warm-up mishap, like, and you still walking away with silver, like that's crazy to me that you change up things or don't necessarily make sure that your athletes, the athletes of the world understand, you know, what's necessarily going on. But I mean, it is what it is, and they still, you know, came out. Of course, it wasn't necessarily exactly what, you know, they wanted, but I guarantee you it would be fuel for the next time around.
Oh, yeah, and then Hall as well. I know a lot of people caught that. I mean, he came back from a ridiculous length. I think he was in fourth, jumps third, second, you know, runs his way all the way into first place towards that last stretch in his event. So it's been pretty awesome to watch. Again, track and field's always strong. This year has really been no different as we're just continuing to rack them up. It feels pretty good when this time comes. China, I think they're still sitting there second. But
what would you say is the most dominant, like, force shown for the Olympic Games? Like, what sport, like, you know, would you say carries the crown?
I would say basketball to a degree, but I think I'm going to give it to hurdles. Like men's hurdles, women's hurdles, you can go either or. Something about the hurling events. The
about gymnastics?
Gymnastics as well. I mean, with Simone Biles and Gabriel's like.
So swimming's been taken off since Phelps.
Kind of, but the men's side this year didn't do nearly as well. Now the woman, you got Katie Ledecky still dominating, but we haven't dominated nearly as much since Phelps has left. We're still medaling in a ton of events, but we're certainly not bringing in as many golds. When Phelps was there, I mean, you just put him in every event. It was insane. He was going to find a way to get gold, no matter what kind of style they were going in. I think it's somewhere in track and field still. Certainly not the field events. The field events, especially throwing competitions, you'll see those other countries have some just really incredible elite athletes there. I think if I'm going for specific events, I'll probably go hurdles, just because that is such a veteran group on top of it. Gymnastics is fair, though. I mean, gymnastics, especially what we have, I think Simone Biles is 27, and she still dominated this year. I'd be curious to see how much more she's got in her tank. I mean, that's pretty rare for a gymnast to be as elite as she is. 27, again, that's not old, but when you go in the gymnast world, that's a little more older compared to everybody out there, especially something that requires that much flexibility. You can imagine 27 probably gets a little bit harder. Those are probably my two. Give me one more. Because I think basketball is waning. I'd love to say basketball, but man, that's a couple thrillers that we've gone through.
I mean, have the USA team lost this year?
No, just close ones. Exhibition, if you want to call it that. South Sudan, and then they beat Serbia by 4 today.
I mean, of course, you can throw basketball in there. I know female soccer has been dominant as well at times. I kind of don't want to like overlook them. I don't know if they're still as dominant as they were the last couple of times, but they're one of the ones that's kind of a home run hit when you think of Olympic sports.
I got to quick say this. I got duped on men's soccer. I was out and then I was back in after they won their match. I believe they dominated Guinea. It was either 4-1 or 3-0, and then they go play Morocco and they lose 4-0 immediately in the quarterfinals. The women, you're right. The women are a great soccer program. They might not be necessarily competing for a gold medal, but they're in the conversations for at least medaling. The women's program, for whatever reason, have so much more figured out.
So that will probably be my two. I don't, like I said, I mean, you can throw them in there, but I think kind of basketball, gymnastics, and track is probably the most dominant. Like it's a three-headed monster. Now, who is the more dominant out of those three? That's tough.
Yeah, I would say wrestling, but I was watching this year. It looks like wrestling is a little bit. Everybody's pretty close there too.
You can throw them because, like I would say, over. I haven't really caught up or been paying attention to what wrestling was this year. But in the previous year, I would say wrestling. You can definitely add wrestling into that. That's for sure.
Certainly during the Burroughs era.
Oh, absolutely.
That's when, of course, USA. We're watching a lot. Depending on where you're at, they're going to show you which events they really want to highlight. And Burroughs being as dominant as he was, the former Husker, they were constantly highlighting wrestling. And at that time, certainly dominant. This year, I'd have to go back and exactly count the medals. We certainly weren't bad.
No.
If as dominant as we were back then, not entirely sure. I'll throw one more out there before we go to our first break here. I'll give it to USA rowing. We're some good rowers out there. As we're talking about events that get us hyped, we're pretty good at the good old rowing, and that certainly comes from your.
So I'm good. I don't pay. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. That's great. Happy for them. Not paying attention.
You don't until you do, and then once you lock your eyes on it, you start getting locked in. They start giving you facts about if those boats are so incredibly light, just takes one person, they'll flip that whole thing over. It grows on you how exceptionally hard it can be. So that's probably my last one. If you guys want Giant Mirrors in there, give me your support that the USA dominates and will continue to dominate for years to come. 402-464-5685. We'll be on the brick and mortar all night as we got nothing crossing over on our airwaves here. So we'll throw it to break. We'll catch you guys on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. We'll keep it rolling.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years. And I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Have you ever gotten a car deal so good that you can brag about for decades? This is that deal. The government has given us a $4,000 in instant credit on vehicles already at the historically lowest prices. Cars that were over $50,000 just 2 years ago are now selling below $20,000. See the deals here and drive away the car of your dreams at a price you never thought possible. Go to 4000off.com, 400off.com to learn more.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at the lnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Des Moines Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Orange on the ones and twos. If you guys want to join in as we're on the brick and mortar all night, 402-464-5685. And after this one, we'll have another former Husker. We got Chance Brewington back from Arizona, so he'll be in studio. And then, of course, DP at 9 o'clock. We'll wrap things up with one-on-one. But in the meantime, we still got Des Moines Pierson-El. And since he is the former Husker, I think it's only fair that we talk some college football here. And I want to start with this right here. We're getting some more news out of Michigan. This one, I don't want to dive into it because this one's a lot more hearsay, but it continues to raise questions on how much of this noise is real and is it going to affect Michigan in our terms of preseason power rankings. And I kind of want to go through these power rankings and try to identify which ones are maybe a little too highly touted, whether it's based off recruiting, based off of season prior win-loss records, or even just, they're in the SEC period. So this is just 247. And again, you can go through a variety of these. ESPN, every power ranking is going to have one that fits you best. But for this one, we're going to use 247 Sports. And I just want to go through this and we'll figure out which ones you feel like are ranked too high. So 247, and this is heading into spring training is when this thing was written. Ohio State is their number one. in their power rankings. And this is why I kind of picked this one, because not too many people have Ohio State. Obviously, there's an SEC school that people would probably pick above, but Ohio State number 1 in the power rankings. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I would have probably put Georgia there, but I mean, I definitely think probably Ohio State is probably a top 3.
Yeah, top 3. Is this do they start evening the playing field here with Michigan now that Jim Harbaugh's gone? Is this where Ohio State kind of reestablishes their dominance in terms of the Big Ten? Are like this Michigan Ohio State?
I would think so, on the facts of 1, Harbaugh being gone, 2, Michigan lost a lot on the offensive side, and I'm pretty sure on the defensive side as well. But I mean, you had your 2-time unanimous All-American running back leave. They say, the best quarterback in Michigan history leave. So I mean, I don't know if Michigan will be anything relatively close of what we've seen, regardless of cheating or not, just because I think they lost a lot of pieces. So I'm not expecting them to be as strong. I don't think they're a top 10 team. Probably I would give them a top 15. Just because, I don't know who the quarterback is coming in. I mean, yeah, I know the coach was there. I don't know exactly, what all has changed with other coaches that did leave that went with Harbaugh, because I know he took a few. So exactly, is he going to change things completely up from what Harbaugh was doing, or is it just kind of, the same thing? So they have to find a new identity because they're not the same team. So I'm not expecting Michigan to be as, what we have been accustomed to them to be as of right now, until I see otherwise.
Yeah, what scares me, well, it doesn't scare me because I'm not a Michigan fan, but if I'm going to put on the Wolverines hat, it's certainly the offense, what you just said. Like defense, I think you're fine. You feel pretty damn good there. You got a lot of returning production there. But offensively, what does Michigan look like when, and again, I know we're not super high on McCarthy in the NFL. We don't really know yet, but out of all the quarterbacks, he wasn't super high on my list. I guess I'd take first. But when he was at Michigan, certainly an above average quarterback. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed at the college level to find a lot of guys. Maybe they're more, whatever trait you want to call it, a little bit magician back there, but he was consistent and accurate. And if you're Michigan, that's what you need, along with the run game on top of it. I wonder what that looks like if you can't. You lost
your number 1 receiver. You lost your number 1 quarterback. You lost your number 1 running back. And I think
some pieces on the O-line as well are up and out of there.
A few on the offensive line.
Uh-huh.
So like that's your whole identity. So I'm just not sure exactly what else is. Well, I mean, I know they have the other running back. Is it Edwards? He's good.
Yeah, Edwards.
He was a good change up from Corum and whatnot. They complemented each other fine. So I mean, okay, you'll be fine in the running back situation. But again, I mean, your offensive line, your identity of what kind of Harbaugh bought there. Again, we don't know exactly how this coach is kind of going to implement his own system and what he wants to do, or is it just going to be continuous of kind of what we've seen? And the players that you left, are significantly good players. The players that left are probably the best, to play that position at Michigan. And that's not easy to, replicate or, bring in somebody behind and follow up that.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly, in my opinion, led by defense.
Oh, easily.
I mean, I know Graham's going to be back there. He's going to be a big leader on that defensive side of the ball. And of course, with Sherrone Moore. DJ Moore is the wide receiver of the Chicago Bears. Very excited about him. Moore, the head coach of Michigan Wolverines. It just all depends. Like, what is that penalty to? If it's a slap on the wrist, I'm not really worried about him at all, especially with it expanding out to 12-team playoffs. Their schedule's pretty tough, but I think defensively you can hang on as long as the penalty's not too severe. And Moore, it's not like he's unfamiliar. You had him for a handful of games as Harbaugh was serving his suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Just really at the quarterback position, what does it look like? I mean, you don't need a ton, but you need a guy when you do occasionally run into those 3rd and longs.
Are they going to switch up and not be, the true smash mouth Michigan that we've seen? Are they going to spread things out? So I don't exactly.
There's no way they go spread things out, right? I mean, they finally find the recipe to Ohio State. I have a hard time believing they're going to try to change philosophy after they finally kind of crack the code on Ohio State.
Again, you had some Michigan greats that also helped you with that. So again, we will see. Like I said, I'm not too sure exactly because they lost a lot, and I'm not too familiar with exactly who they have coming in after that.
Yeah, I suppose you can't replicate the Michigan of last year if you don't have the same offensive line that can just pulverize teams. And we'll see defensively too. How good was that defense and how good was the scouting? Were they two things separately or they go hand in hand together? Well, that'll be a big eye opener. That's enough on Michigan. They got picked on enough. I know they got some more court cases they got to get through here. Georgia Bulldogs at number 2. Feels fair. I put them at number 1, number 2. That's not egregious to me. Anything on that?
I mean, nothing other than they probably should be 1, but okay.
Yeah, right. I'd put them at 1, but write an article, get a varying opinion on there. Is Kirby Smart? I'll add this too. Is Kirby Smart the best coach in college football?
I would probably say that's a fair statement. He's the new Saban.
Yeah, until somebody really finds. I mean, I shouldn't say beat them. They did lose to Saban, but that's really the only thing that kept him out of.
I mean, but that's been their Achilles heel. Like if Georgia faces Bama early on, they beat them. Anytime they see them in the SEC championship or national championship for whatever reason, Georgia just falls apart for whatever reason. And it's funny because I didn't really think about it until Jerry Jeudy actually said that. When I was back with the Broncos, he actually said it. He was like, I don't want to hear none of that. He's like, anytime we see them outside of, regular season, they choke. And I'm like, when he said it, I kind of was like, I mean, you're not really wrong. Like, so it's a fair statement. So hopefully this year, they can change that. But it was a fair statement.
Yeah, there's always those games. It's like Colorado State. Don't really know how it's going to go. Even Nebraska, Iowa, even though as much as I want to pound on chest to say Nebraska every time, never shakes out that way. The Red Rivalry Showdown, I don't think they call it the shootout anymore.
Yeah, that one is, Texas usually surprises people left and right. But go ahead. So Georgia was 2.
Yeah, this one. All right. Texas Longhorns, number 3. They certainly have something going. Number 3 might be a little high for me.
3 I would say is a bit high. 4 or 5 I could see.
Well, I think too they're in the SEC as well. Let me pull up
and I'm pretty sure they're probably on Georgia's side. So you're gonna have to go through Georgia to get to the SEC championship.
Yeah, they are certainly on Georgia's side. Man, their schedule's pretty brutal too. Because again, Colorado State, it's not a team that you can.
It's funny how certain teams get a brutal schedule, and other teams that go to other conferences' schedule is a bit of a cakewalk. I'm
never sure how that shakes out. I know for Nebraska's case that when they said welcome to the Big Ten, they did it with a slap in the face. Looks like Texas actually does get a little bit of the same treatment here. Schedule's more brilliant. 3 might be strong simply because of the schedule they have. I can easily see them dropping some of these and just finding themselves on the outside in those top 25. So you got Colorado State, then you get Michigan. We just talked about Michigan. It's not going to be an immediate drop off. We kind of saw that, with even some of these programs here at Nebraska where it takes a little bit of time before the drop off really hits.
Is that Michigan game at Michigan or Texas?
At Michigan. The Brick House.
3rd game? Ooh, that's
second game. Colorado State, you get that at home, but then you're on the road to Michigan.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Texas is going to be tough. Like I expect them honestly to do well, and I hate to say that with the rivalry, but with Shark down there and kind of what the athletes that he has, like at the quarterback position and whatnot, he's going to spread things out. He's going to get the best matchup, and he has athletes at every position, so they're going to be fine. You can be worried about their defense, just an SEC schedule, but that's the biggest concern. But they're gonna. I think they're gonna be able to put up points.
Yeah, certainly, and we won't dive into this full schedule. I'll rattle them off quickly, just so if you're driving on the road, you get an idea on kind of what they have in front of them. So those first 2 games, like I said, Colorado State on the road, Michigan. That's going to be, if you got a wedding that day, apologies. That's going to be one you certainly don't want to miss. Then you get UTSA, LA Monroe, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, Texas A&M. So certainly not a cakewalk. Number 3 in the power rankings, not because I don't think Texas is good. I just think that is a brutal schedule.
They don't play. You say they don't play? You said they don't play Ole Miss.
They do not have Ole Miss. They have Mississippi
State. Auburn either.
No Auburn. The toughest team on their schedule.
That's really not that's a manageable schedule for them. Honestly, that's not. You kind of get in the middle of the pack SEC teams. Mississippi State can do something.
Yep. You're familiar with the Oklahoma. Georgia's the tough one. Arkansas, you never want to scoff at, and then Florida. I think Florida.
Arkansas is a true SEC team. Yep. I mean you just kind of that can be a trap game, but that's not a terrible welcome to the SEC. Honestly, that's really not.
No, and then like I said, you got a couple of games there. After your Colorado State, Michigan, then you get your 2 non-cons. Should be able to kind of rest your guys up. Then you get this little middle of the season, and you're really just kind of trying to peek at that Georgia game. And then the rest of the game, especially depending on how you handle Georgia, you'll get a
They play Georgia late in the season?
It's about middle of the season. I just backed out of it, but I think it's like week 7, maybe even week 6.
All right. Well, it's not too bad, but okay. So Texas at 3. Who's at 4?
At number 4. See if you can guess it. It's
Oregon.
Yeah, there you go. Oregon's up there.
That's a bit too high for me. That's too high. I would say anything past 5.
Where are you at with Dylan Gabriel? Because it's kind of the same thing with the Huskers. This team's gonna go as far as the quarterback's gonna allow. Well, on top of the offensive line.
He ain't Bo Nix. He ain't Bo Nix. I know that for a fact. Hopefully, I've seen him play in person when they came to Lincoln. I'm not saying I'm not impressed by him. Oregon's offense, they have some pieces with that coach there or whatnot. Hopefully, he can get more out of him. We'll see. I'm not too high on him.
I put my faith just because of Dan Lanning too and what he's able to do. And I think he's a big part of why Bo Nix started to find a ton of success, because Bo Nix, at one point was a transfer and then gets to Oregon and things really start firing off. With Dylan Gabriel, I'd imagine it should be pretty quick pickup, where I do think Oregon is high as 4. No, I don't think it's too egregious. I personally, I probably have them in that top 7. Anywhere between 7 and 4 probably feels about right to me. Last one here at number 5. I'm curious what your thoughts. Ole Miss at number 5 in these preseason power rankings on 247 Sports. Obviously, you've kind of been high on them too, mainly because of Lane Kiffin. Does that feel about right with Ole Miss?
With Bama not having Saban there, Ole Miss have given Bama a run for their money. I'm okay with 5. I can see 5. I can see them winning their side of the SEC. I can see them getting to the SEC championship and facing Georgia or Texas probably for the SEC championship. So I can see that at 5. I'm cool with that at 5.
It's gonna be fun. I don't think 5 is too egregious either. Again, it's just because there's so much movement right now, not only in great coaches moving on, college and NFL. We can go to the NFL for that conversation, but just in terms of college, you're losing some great coaches. Then you have conference realignment on top of it. How are these guys going to adjust? Ole Miss, it does feel like they're in one of those favorable positions. They're familiars, despite all the chaos that's happening in college football. They're in a very familiar circle. There's not a lot of chaos that's happening around them. They still got Lane Kiffin, a great coach. They got a lot of returning production, a couple great players out of the portal as well, especially on that defensive side of the ball. So Ole Miss at 5, I might even, interswap those guys, put them at 4, push Oregon further back. With that being said, though, we'll throw it to break. We might continue with this list as we go through here and try to get to the 10 if we got time for it. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling. Like I said, we'll have Brewington at that 8 o'clock hour. Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cool with a high around 76. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 53. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and an afternoon high again around 76. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Our lives only have so much time. But if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter. And the time you do have is often filled with health problems. Shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, your body starts healing.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Link Grill Draft and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, wrapping things up here on the Don't Punt Hour. Just we only got about 5 minutes left here. Feel like we'll get 5 teams in here. We're going to finish up the preseason way too early, but you could even argue maybe it's not way too early. We're less than a month away from actual kickoff, week 0, college football, NFL. We got preseason on. Actually, a Hard Knocks training camp. Football's around the corner. You get the point. And for the sake of this segment, we're going to keep it rolling here. 402-464-5685. Like I said, you guys are always welcome to join in, not just this show, but through Off the Night Show. We will have Chance of Brewington, the second former Husker of Ticket Weeknights, joining us next. All right. As we go through this list, reminder, 247's list, not the end-all, be-all. They're preseason. So Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Texas 3, Oregon Ducks 4, number 5, Ole Miss Rebels. Maybe a little bit surprising, but we talked about it. You look at how everything stayed pretty stagnant for them, and the rest of the college football feels like a whirlpool. Makes more sense than you think. Number 6, Alabama. Where are you at with DeBoer? He's got a winning resume. The coach coming in.
I like him there. You got 4 and 5. You got stallions on both sides. The cream of the crops on both sides. So I think his success will be fine. We'll just see. For whatever reason, I mean, it's a tough act to follow Nick Saban. I still think they'll be good. I still think they'll be a winning university. What you said, 5 or 6? 6 is fine.
Yeah, they're at number 6.
6 is fine. I can see that.
Milroe coming back is a big deal too. That certainly gives me a lot of hope. It's like, even if okay, well, give me, why not? Why would that not just be? I like him more than guys like Gabriel.
I think him and Gabriel are on the same path. Honestly, I'm not as impressed for whatever reason. Something's off. I don't know. I think he is a gamer. I think he balls out with certain stuff. I'm not high on him for whatever reason.
Was it the Georgia game where he pulled it out of his what? Had that crazy play. There was one game where Alabama was not. They're supposed to be winning, and they found a way to claw themselves back. Milroe plays out of his mind.
Auburn. It was Auburn.
Auburn. That's back to those rivalry games where you can just never walk over that team no matter how much better you are on paper. Auburn and Alabama is certainly one of those matchups. That kind of gave me some hope in Milroe. Just kind of the same thing we saw with the Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. game. Michael Penix Jr., that's what made me so him so favorable for me in terms of drafting. We saw him when his back was against the wall. If that's what it looks like, I mean, that's pretty damn good. So 6, I really don't got too many problems with it. Number 7 feels just about right. I would not place him anywhere else. Number 7 on their list, the Nittany Lions. You good with number 7 on Nittany Lions?
I can see that there. Again, they kind of got a rough schedule. But I mean, again, you catch a lighter Michigan with new quarterback and everything like that. I can see them being at 7. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and to me, it feels like this has got to be a playoff year. James Franklin, I mean, he's a great coach.
If he doesn't get to the playoffs, I think he might be out of there, honestly.
Which is crazy. I don't feel good about the Nittany Lions if they do decide to get rid of him. I really don't. I think, depending on who they hire, I just think to find a coach of his caliber, it's
not easy to come by.
No, and
they're gonna be in the same situation that we were in with Pelini, the same situation that Michigan was in with Harbaugh, the same situation that Wisconsin was with Paul. So You can try to if you want to, but I mean, he really revived your whole university after that whole scandal. Honestly, he kind of brought you back to being, relevant.
Yeah, I mean, that's as much as we talk about Michigan and Ohio State, they damn well circle Penn State too, because they know that's a game that's going to matter. Because if they drop that game, then say Michigan drops the game to Penn State, Ohio State, like that's one where they all feel like we can catch one on you, because Penn State's certainly good enough to beat anybody in the Big Ten, let alone anybody in college football. I think it'd be a big mistake to get rid of James Franklin, just because the margin of error is so much bigger when you're dealing with a coach that good. Kind of with Bo Pelini, like, is he the best coach out there? Maybe you think you can do better. There's a chance, but the chance of error is way bigger. I can promise you that. So I'd imagine they do get into the playoffs just from the outside looking in. We'll see what it looks like. A little bit of time here, rapid fire to finish this up. We'll go to 10. 8, Notre Dame. Any comments there?
I mean, they kind of got a cakewalk schedule, so I mean, they're going to be in there because they're independent.
Yeah, and we'll get to see what does Riley Leonard look like. Used to play at Duke. We slid Michigan in there already. Of course, 9. We'll see what Sharon Moore can do with those. Number 10, let's hope we get the guy they want so badly, the class of 2025. They want Sanders. We want him just a little bit more, especially based on the fans that came out there as we brought him into Lincoln. Tennessee Volunteers, they got him at number 10.
Whoa.
That's pretty high. Yeah, that's the one that sticks out to me the most.
I think Mizzou is a way better team than Tennessee. The disrespect on that, the disrespect to overlook Florida State. They have a second string quarterback, I think, that's coming back, that was on the team last year. I like what that coach is doing down there. I got both of those teams before I would take Tennessee.
Mizzou only lost 2 games last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mizzou, that's okay. I agree with you. Tennessee Volunteers, top 20.
They lost a lot. The quarterback's gone. Wide receiver weapons are gone. I'm going to need to see it more. Plus, on top of that, you're going to have an SEC schedule. So some of those games are going to kind of knock you out of it. Mizzou is on the Alabama side. I can see Mizzou being the number 2 team, the number 3 team. Like they're Mizzou is a strong team in the SEC.
We agreed a lot more than I thought on this list. I'd also put Mizzou in the top 10, somewhere in the top 10, certainly above the Vols, if not top 10, above the Vols at least. So that's going to be it for us as we kind of wrapped up there. 247s, again, not universal. Their preseason top 25 college football list. As we get closer to it, we'll have more media quotes. We'll have more football. And, of course, we'll see if USA wins the gold medal. Don't go anywhere. We got more Ticket Weeknights up next. But for the Don't Punt Hour, we'll do it again next week. The more Nate Pierson-El, appreciate the time as always. We'll do it again next week.